Hello, I'm going to show you now how to save a contact into your copy of Outlook. So let me explain why you might want to save a contact. Number of reasons, but one reason why I find very useful is if you click new email, and let's say you're frequently trying to send an email to someone called, John at acme.com. Trouble there is I'm having to type the email in every single time and it becomes a bit tedious. Also, sometimes you might want to record more information against John. Let's say, what's John's phone number? What's the address? Maybe some notes about John. Well, how we create a contact is we go to, can you see here the little people icon just down here? Now in your version it might be called contacts, it might be called people, or it might be this symbol down here. It may look slightly different to you, but the principle of what this is doing is very, very similar. So what I do after I've selected in there, I'll get a list of any contacts that I've previously entered into the system, which at the moment there aren't any. So I'm going to click on the top where it says new contact, and what I get is very similar, admittedly a bit more detailed, but very similar to what you get on a mobile phone when you add a contact into your address book. So here I'm going to go to full name, and let's say I want to put in John Smith. The company that John works for is Acme Co. Job title for John, maybe he is their HR director, for instance. So can you see instantly, this is not just about email addresses, it's about further information about John so that you can do your job a bit better. So John's email address is john@acme.com. Going further down, we can have a web address if we want for John. Phone numbers. Can you see the variety of phone numbers we can have? We can have a business phone number, a home, a fax, a mobile. If the type of phone number you want to record isn't there, pop the arrow down. Can you see we can actually choose the type of phone number that we want to actually record? What's his assistant's phone number, for instance? Same with the email address. Look, pop that down. Email 1, 2 and 3. You can store multiple email addresses for John in there. We can also put an address in here. So look, one some place, and you can put more detail than that in. It will come up and ask you to confirm where things are. So look, one some place is actually the street. You might put in some more details in here. So some city, some state, or whatever you want to go for. And then once you're ready, click OK. Can you see it adds it in there for me? Now the notes are quite good. So let's say you want to keep a record of a contact that you've kept up with John. So I don't know, maybe on the 1st of the 7th, you had an intro call. Now I know in a lot of cases you're probably going to have a CRM or some kind of contact management system, but if you haven't, this is a really good resource just to keep the complete picture of John in one place, but also some information about what you've done with John. But once you're ready, all we do, we hit save and close. Can you see John Smith goes in there? And here's a nice neat thing. Can you see when you click onto John Smith's record, so I can double click and get the detail up here, or can you see one click and then it gives me like a summarization of John's details there, included in, if you want to use the notes for like history, can you see it shows me the notes there? Now one major benefit to this is if I now go back to my emails, if I now want to send an email to John, if I go to new email, click to, pop this arrow down here and go to my contacts, can you see John is in there as an option? And I can just double click, press OK. Can you see I can just pick John up from the list and add him to my email? So that is how to create a contact in Outlook that allows you to store more information, but also send emails quicker rather than having to type the email address in every single time.